How did you get started with the kinds of videos you're doing right now?
Now, in the beginning, I didn't do a video I wasn't consistent. And that's one of the things that you have to be on social media. You have to be consistent like anything.
It's a lot easier to know to make the content when you've had business come in from it. So you're like, okay, cool. Like I know that when I have videos, the phone rings, emails come in, the things happen, right? But like when you haven't done that yet, what advice would you give to that person?
Welcome back to the REVB Podcast. I'm hanging out with our friend Katie Day, which I know none of you are excited to hear from. Who you are probably excited to hear from is my friend who I've known for a while now. Started back in the RETV days. A lot of you don't even know what that is. But my buddy, Paul Lykins. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Long time.
Goodness love. Katie usually does the intros, so I enjoy the opportunity to breeze right past her. That's great. Katie, did you want to chime in? You know, you are here.
No, may I speak? So I think what I was going to say is I've been trying to do intros to the podcast, being very kind and welcoming to Tim, and then he just takes over and is just like mean to me, Katie, right off the bat. So the problem is fine.
The podcast audience isn't the audience that casually knows us. The podcast audience are people that know us well. And so they know you're full of crap. They know you love giving me a hard time.
It's fine. It's fine. The RETV, for those of you that don't know, was a Facebook group that Tim and a few other real estate creators created back on April 20th, 2018.
Ooh, 2018.
So video journey when I did, because I was like, I just want to see for sure. 7 years ago, when many of us were starting on our video journey, and that's actually how Tim and I know of and know Paul. And so I'm excited to dig in and just kind of talk about everything that's happened since 2018. Kidding.
Well, Paul, let's go back to that. So RETV, I don't know how you landed in there. How'd you land in there? And then what'd you do when you picked up a camera?
Yeah. So everybody was sort of doing the Facebook videos. It was very big at the time when Facebook was friendly, right? It wasn't just a bunch of ads. And everyone was doing these videos, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I'd kind of started to see other people doing it. And I just started playing around with YouTube. I was like, okay, let's do this because it seems like it's the right thing to do, right? I knew social media was the way to go. And somehow, I don't know how I found it, but I got an invite or I saw it, and I just found this group of people, and I was like, wow, look at these creators, just absolutely Jesse and everyone out there just doing amazing videos. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is my tribe. This is where I want to be. And and then I just started learning, and I met you, and then people gave me tips, and I learned from that. And, you guys, again, I'm an older guy starting social media in at 51, right? Hey, let's do YouTube at 51, when it was all people like Mr. Beast and I don't know, 6-year-olds making $100 million a year from looking at toys. And I was like, okay, this ought to be fun. And from there, I just met a lot of great people, and really got some good tips from people that I practice to this day, even with my editing, some tips that really helped me out a lot.
I love that. So one of the things that I love about your story is we had a lot of great creators that were just making this amazing content. And I think sometimes that can be intimidating for people. Right. Sometimes it's harder to go make a listing video after you've watched one of Brad McCallum's listing videos. You're like, I'm not going to make that. But the reason why you're one of my favorite people from that era was that you didn't care. You picked up the camera and went and made videos and made not great videos at the beginning, and then slowly made them better. And so talk to me about that. How did you watch all these people that were doing amazing stuff, and how'd you get over that fear to just go make content?
Yeah, after last week and still not making those great videos. they all can't be winners, right? So you learn. I'm like the dad that has the camera. Kind of you see all these young agents and everyone's doing it. I was like, oh, I'm just going to be with these young agents, but I'm the dad there. It's like, Dad, put it down. But no, I just kept playing with it, and learning and making the videos. And then the phone, we all went through the big COVID, and the phone started ringing because Florida was this place that everyone wanted to escape to. And if you had a YouTube channel and you're in Florida, man, your phone was ringing, and mine certainly was. And people were like, oh, that looks like a great place to live. Look at palm trees. And he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And oh, look at the beaches. And I can work from my house. And that just kind of happened. And then it's slowed down since then. But I really have always believed in it. Like I remember sitting in a seminar and they said, no one's going to buy a house off of Facebook. And I go, how's this guy on stage getting paid? And he's saying that. That's insane. And I blocked that out and I said, because I saw what y'all were doing. And so I just kind of stuck with that and said, well, I'm just going to keep making videos and practice and get better at it. And eventually it started to pay off. The phones started ringing and the emails started coming in, and then it just became a regular habit of how I do business. It's like I know every Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm going to have a video uploaded, just like somebody knows every Monday at 9 o'clock they're going to start dialing for dollars.
So I want to kind of go back to the very beginning though, right? Like you just named off a lot of reasons why people may not want to start, right? And so, you're like, oh, I'm an older guy, I'm a this, I'm a that. People were telling me that Facebook didn't work. Like people were telling me that videos didn't work.
This is why Paul's my favorite.
No, I know, right? Like, so you're like, that's bullshit. No, I want to dig into that a little bit deeper because like, I think that there are still people out there in the world that are like, video doesn't work. That's for them, not for me. Right. And I think you probably had all of those things go through your mind, but you were like, you even said, you're like, I'm sitting at a seminar. I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to do the thing. Right. Yeah. Talk us through that a little bit because like, you're someone who like, I've loved to see your video journey because you've tried different things. You've done just the standard talking directly to camera. You've done the out on location stuff. You've done the like fun, like, bike riding and like you've done a lot of things like,
yeah.
So how did you get past kind of the naysayers and also your own mental blocks and issues? Issues was a bad word. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, no. The naysayers, there's always going to be people that are going to just like say stuff. We're in business, people business. We're realtors. We're out there. There's always going to be someone's going to say, don't do this. There's all kinds. I mean, one of your favorites, Bob. Look at Bob's video. That's not for everybody.
He's not one of my favorites. Paul, don't put words in my mouth, brother.
But everyone has a different thing, and they're going to do it. And there's always going to be those that are either afraid to do it, so they're going to knock you down and try to bring you down because they're afraid to do it themselves. So the easiest way for them to do is like, oh, look at this idiot. Who does he think he is? And I had plenty of those comments, and I had plenty of people. I had even people at the very beginning when I did it in my own office were kind of like, why are you doing that? That's not professional. But I saw where social media was heading. I don't know how or why I did, but I just knew it was a great way to go, that you could reach a lot of people. And so I just, said, stick with it. Now in the beginning, I didn't do a video I wasn't consistent. And that's one of the things that you have to be on social media. You have to be consistent, like anything, like Tim going to the gym, doing reps. If you don't do it, you give up, you fall for a week, man, you're going to hurt going to the gym when you go back because you didn't stay consistent. So it's the same thing with video. And so I knew that. And it's the one thing I believed in that I knew I could stay consistent with. So I just stuck with it. Tried a lot of the different things, tried some of the different trends in videos. What I'm finding even as of today, because it's so saturated, is that kind of staying in my lane, which is the guy on a bicycle, the Hawaiian shirt, going out and just being that sort of nice. It's funny. I was making a video yesterday. It was a follow-up video that I did this last summer about a big development in downtown West Palm. And now it had a soft opening. So some of the stores were there. So I went there to kind of show everyone, hey, this is what's going on. Again, providing that content for them, staying in touch. Plus there's some nice new developments that will be coming up with townhomes. And I met this young guy, he's 27. And he goes, hey, you're the guy that was making the video last summer. So he recognized me, and he owns a martial arts studio, which is really cool. And so we started talking, and he's like, yeah, he goes, I would never look at you and think you're just some old guy. You're just like a people person. You're very like approachable. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I actually watched your videos and I thought, yeah, right. He goes, no, I watched a couple of your videos. And I was like, wow, thanks. And he goes, yeah, man, you're just easy to watch. So you hear that. So people are watching. People will watch if you put the stuff out there and answer the questions. If you're answering what their questions are, and there's a lot of people who want to know about South Florida, they'll watch you. And if you're just yourself, and I always tell everyone, they go, the only person I can be is me, right? I can't be someone else because I'd be horrible at it. So I can just be that kind of goofy guy that's like, hey, enjoy paradise. And here's a loud Hawaiian shirt and whatever.
Yeah. So I do want to dive into the kinds of videos you're making, because like riding around on the bike, take a video. Like I don't know many other people doing that style of video. So tell me, what are you like? How did you get started with the kinds of videos you're doing right now? And then, how's it progressed?
So I started doing first. I went back and saw a lot of the house tour videos. I'm a horrible person at house tour videos. Those videos tank. I'm no good at it. It's not my vibe. So Brad, you got nothing to worry about because I'll never be doing those kind of videos. I mean, the cinematic, sexy, that was not my vibe. So I knew those didn't work. So I had to figure out what did work for me. And the bicycle videos came out of when everything was shut down. And I was going through a neighborhood and you couldn't get in anywhere. They were still letting realtors kind of work in Florida. But like, you know, so I said, well, and no one was getting around, right? So I just hopped on my bike one day and said, let's ride through this neighborhood. And I started filming the homes and talking about the house prices. And I would go by, there's a clubhouse. We can't go into it because, again, it's closed, but here's what the pool looks like. And people just really kind of liked it. It gave them an idea of what the neighborhood looked like while they're sitting in New Jersey in the snow. And they see this guy riding a bike through the neighborhood and they go, wow, that's a cool place. I could see ourselves living there. So that's kind of where that came from. I tend to not want to do those videos in the summer anymore because it's so bloody hot out that I felt like I have a heat stroke. So as we start to get a little bit cooler, I'll probably get back out on the bike and kind of go out and either take the regular bike or I got an e-bike and cruise around the town, and I'll pop into like a coffee shop and say, hey, this is a great place to get coffee, and promoting the small business and stuff like that.
So you said that when you first started out in the beginning,
yeah,
you weren't necessarily the most consistent, but like now, you know, you've got to do it. You've got to have it, you know, up every week, like clockwork. What advice would you give to someone that is just starting out on how to, like, I think it's a lot easier. Let me frame this a different way. It's a lot easier to know to make the content when you've had business come in from it. So you're like, okay, cool. Like I know that when I have videos, the phone rings, emails come in, the things happen, right? But like when you haven't done that yet, what advice would you give to that person?
There's a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people looking for answers. So try to make some content answering questions, maybe talk about the mortgage rates dropping, whatever it is, answer those questions and put those videos out there. Because even lately this summer, my phone hasn't been ringing much from the videos. Not as much as it is in, you know, some agents across the country, maybe their market's a little different. Florida's, as y'all know, is taking a big hit on condos and whatnot. So you have to make the video just like you have to do the reps, and it might not happen this week, but just like today, right before I came on with you, I'm submitting a contract for a condo with some buyers from Pittsburgh because they watched my YouTube video. So it was a little bit quiet, but here I got a lead from it and they came down. So you just have to keep making the videos. You have to put it out there, put the video. You might not see anything. You might not even have a couple views, but if it answers some questions and people start seeing it, and then you do it again the next week, and then the next week and the next week, they're going to kind of go, hey, this agent seems to really know about Friendswood, Texas, or you know, Katy, Texas. They really have the pulse on what's going on there. I want to follow this agent, and then maybe eventually reach out to them. And it takes a while, and it is hard when you first start out because you got no views except for your friends. And don't make the mistake I did, which is ask all your realtor friends to subscribe, because that'll kill the algorithm, because none of them want to buy a house from you. So they may send you some business, but that was just so just let it grow organically. And it does take a while. It's you know, it's kind of a marathon with YouTube. But the good thing is when you put a video out, it's out there forever unless you take it down.
So I want to dive in real quick on just the technicals. Like, what kind of camera are you using? What's your production process like? You know, just give me the scoop on how you're making your videos.
I use similar to Go. I use what's called a DJI Osmo. It's like the GoPro. It's just been my choice.
You're using DJI's action camera.
Yeah, I love the camera. It's great. It's got good color. It's easy to use. It's got stability. So when you're riding a bike, it doesn't look like you're going through an earthquake. It's super stable, lightweight, little gimbal on it. And then I use the DJI microphone mini because it has a Bluetooth connection. So I just put the little mic mini here now. I don't have to worry about a C connector or anything and having any audio problems. It works perfect. And it's not, if I have to hide it under my shirt, so I don't want people to feel uncomfortable, you know, then they're like, you know, why are you walking in our store with the microphone and a camera? Now I just have a camera. They just think I'm a tourist. So, so I use that. I edit everything myself. I use a product called DaVinci Resolve. It's a little bit more technical, but I like it. It's got good color grading, and I'm just comfortable with it. Again, most agents are probably going to farm it out to somebody, but that can be a whole other headache, depending on who you're hiring to edit your videos. So I kind of like that control of my own videos and my time and my music, and my cuts myself. So I've always just made it my baby.
So you're like selfie style, talking to the camera about whatever your video is going to be.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you're riding on your bike with the camera.
Yeah.
And you're talking while you're shooting, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you just have one hand out, it's an ezy beach cruiser to ride, right? An old man bike, whatever.
Yeah.
It's low, it's nothing too crazy. And it steers really well. And I'll have one hand on that and a hand out here, and I'm just cruising around. It's like, hey, Tim, today we're out here showing you this neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. And then spin the camera around and get some B-roll footage of the neighborhood and then put it together.
I think like a lot of our people, that are doing a lot of the news stuff, the relocation channels, right? Like they're putting together their bullet points and their script, and maybe they even write it out and have a teleprompter. Like there's all this different stuff. And I think there's something about the way you make your videos where you're literally talking to the camera while you're riding your bike. That's like, oh, when I watch this video, I'm just on a stroll with Paul, listening to him talk about the area. And I think, like you said, the young guy said your videos are easy to watch. Like, to me, that's probably why you have this casual way about you. And I think the way you shoot it has something to do with that. And so, like, how much are you preparing before you go out and do one of these videos?
I'll, like, the day before or even yesterday when I shot, I kind of just did it in the morning. I'll do some Google search. I did some updated search about like what stores had opened for the project that I was going to. I got some more data about the total square footage of all the Class A office space and all that stuff, just so I had my notes.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. When the full, probably later on this year when they have the grand openings. Right now they had a soft opening. So I do some details on that, get some of those notes, and then some more data about what's going on in, like, say, West Palm Beach. So I have those notes. It's like maybe 3 pages, and I carry them around with me. And then I'll just stop and I'll look at it and say, okay. And then I'll go and record it, and I'll have those notes so I can have some knowledge about it, because I can't remember all that stuff. But yeah, my videos are not production wise. I mean, they're definitely just like a little rough. They've always been that way. I owned that and said, look, that's who you are. It's never going to look slick. Just be this, and I can touch them up and make the color grades and the editing a little better. But like, and I still have them. I tell you, my first video is still on my channel, and I leave it there for a reason. I tell people, go watch my very first video. It's still up. You can go from oldest to newest on YouTube and go down. You'll see my very first video and have a good laugh. It's horrible, but
we've all been there.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So. But yeah, that's so I do a little bit of a prep like that. And then if I'm going to meet some people, sometimes I'll reach out and go, hey, I want to feature your place on my YouTube channel. Would you mind? Because asking permission goes a long way with some of these places. And they said, oh God, we'd love you to come in, and we'll share you with let us know when the video is done, because we'll share it to our database, or we'll share it on our social media. So
I think, go ahead.
I think that you're being a little modest, because, when you talk about your production quality or your, because when you look at, I love doing this with YouTube channels, like you look at your oldest videos, like there's been so much progress that you've made. But what I think is like sometimes the super high production quality videos don't always get as many calls, right? And like I think that it's like, because you're being so real, and it is like they're just having a conversation with you and coming along for the ride as you're exploring, the area and talking about things. I think that's why, people are watching them. So one of the things that I think everyone has a little bit different of what they look at. When you're going back through the analytics, what are you looking at and how are you adjusting as you continue to make videos? Because I've seen, like, in some of the Facebook groups we're in together, you're like, man, I did this one and I thought it was going to do well, but it tanked, or I thought this one was going to suck and it did really well, right? So like, what do you look at to kind of judge whether a video does well or not?
Yeah, I've done it. I did a lot. I kind of got caught up in the what I call the drama videos, which are very popular here in Florida and all around. Like, the market's falling, everything's on fire on the thumbnail. The world's coming to an end. There's people out there that love that drama stuff. Honestly, it sucks the energy out of me, because it's like just the whole comments is just like pure negative, like, yeah, that sucks. And so it got some views out of it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. So what I kind of go back and start to look for is, one, the click-through rate, right? I'll know if I have a good video and a good thumbnail if I see it above 10, the click-through rate. I've seen it as high as 13 and 15. Also, when they drop off, I'm still I laugh. I told the guy the other day, I called old man syndrome. I still, even to this day, and I need to work at it, is on my videos, I got to get right to the point. And the video that didn't do well, even my friend goes, Paul, you took like a long time to get to the point. I said, I know. That's an old man syndrome. You have to, especially you guys know, younger, if you don't get them in the first 60 seconds, they're going to click off. So sometimes you get in your head and you think you're telling information that people want to hear and you're losing them. So I watched that. The video I shot yesterday, I got right to the point, like right out of my mouth. Bam, we're here. This is an update video. So hopefully they'll stick through. I don't worry as much about gaining subscribers anymore, because subscribers isn't as important as the viewing and who's viewing your videos and how long they view it. So keeping them viewed. And also, if I have a lot of comments, I know I've done well. When the people comment on my videos and I get a lot of comments, that's great, because they're engaging and YouTube loves that. So that's kind of what I look for. I look to see a lot of comments. If there's very few comments, yeah, I mean, I think they were just bored with the video. They didn't really care because they didn't want to engage any further with you.
So one piece though too on your channel in particular, you have videos that do 100,000 views, 80,000 views, and blow. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you've hit 1 million.
The condo crisis video, that's the video that blew up my channel back in 2023.
And how many is that at?
It's like 1.8 something million views.
Okay. So you've broken 1 million once?
Yeah. The next video close to that is my I think it was an HOA video, or it was about assessments, about all the assessments. And that one's like 680,000.
So you've got let's say 80,000. Like you have a handful of videos over 80,000 views.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of videos with 800 views.
Yep.
So tell me about how that works, right? Like, because I know how it goes, and you kind of mentioned it. It's like, man, the videos that get me a bajillion views aren't always the videos that get me business. So tell me how you deal with that kind of up and down of one video, I feel like I'm going to be the next Mr. Beast, and the next video, I feel like I should stop doing YouTube.
Some of the videos, I think I just saw someone do it. Like I did a video just recently about Florida doing away with, is video tanked, about mandating vaccines, right? Video just tanked. I thought for sure, I'm telling, this one's going to be a bomb, honey. It's going to blow up.
Yeah.
Tanked. Because my audience doesn't care about that. They don't, that even though it's pertains to someone moving to Florida, if you were here moving with your wife, you would think about that because it's part of moving to Florida. Like, I don't know if I want that for our kids.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So those videos, that was me like seeing some other YouTubers do it. And I said, yeah, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. Didn't do it. So I got to go back and I start looking at the videos like the city tours. When I do the city tour videos, they care because they're like, they don't know where they want to live in Palm Beach County yet. So when they see me showing them downtown West Palm, downtown Delray, those videos do well. And those videos will get anywhere from 5,000 to, I did one for a little place up north and it's got up to 45,000. And so those are the videos that I think that the people really like to watch. So I'm always trying to really think about what my audience wants. Just like the video I shot back yesterday was me explaining about what's happening in West Palm. It's definitely a growing city. There's a lot of new tech jobs coming, 3 big hospitals that are moving into the area, all things that I think people care about. And there's a lot of money coming to that area. So we'll see how that video does. I think that tends to work better. But it's hard because sometimes you get stuck in that, well, let me make this video and we get a ton of views. But reality is you get no calls from any real buyers. You get some crazy calls. Boy, you get some crazy calls. But nothing that what I want as a realtor, right? The idea is let's get people to move here or sell their house. Not, oh, yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I hate HOAs too. It's like, yeah, great. That's nice.
Yeah. So the other piece is I love the watchability of your videos. And I love that you mentioned what the person you met said, because that's like, I agree. They're easy to watch. And so I think the way you're making your videos is good. But one of the other things that you're doing really well are thumbnails and titles. And if you get into the YouTube game, you understand how important thumbnails and titles are. But it's still a hard thing to really understand for a lot of people. So it's like, talk to me about your thumbnail and title journey and how you've gone about making it, because you make great thumbnails and titles now, and you did years ago, right? So what's happened through that process?
A little bit of AI has helped with ideas. I've really honed in on AI, trying to ask it for, I'll explain the video and it'll come up with the title, and then I'll look at it, and then vidIQ rates those titles. So it gives you between like an 87 or a 97 or whatever. So you look at it and we'll see how that looks. The thumbnail is, I made a few clickbait ones, so I learned never to do that again. I got called out on that. People were really upset because they didn't think it had anything to do about the video.
I was going to say, let's clarify that, because some people would look at your thumbnails and titles right now and say they're clickbaity, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And so talk to me about the difference between what I would call click worthy, right? Like making a thumbnail that's worthy of somebody in the sea of other stuff to click on. And then what you ran into, which we'll call clickbait.
Yeah. I mean, I did like my videos, the ones that did really well for a while, when I was talking about condos, because that was such a big topic. And those are the ones that I really got into. And of course, you take the old add fire to anything, right? So put fire in the background and the condos, condo collapse, and it gets people's attention. And I don't think any of that was clickbait, because it was true. The condo, we're sitting at 12, 13 months of inventory right now compared to back when I made that video. So the condo collapse is real. It's here. People are like desperately trying to sell condos.
Yeah.
And the assessments are all over the place in Florida. So we know that. Trying to make those, I think, I can't remember an example, but it's really hard. The thumbnails is so hard because you want to make something that gets their attention. It doesn't necessarily have to, first, it doesn't need to be the title, right? It doesn't need to be $300,000 home and then in the title, $300,000 home. The clickbait needs to have like 2 or 3 words, 4 at the most, that really gets their attention. And it has to be something within the video that's actually part of the video, right? So it's not a clickbait, it's really in there, but you can play with a little bit. Like, it sort of meant this, but it was this. And that tends to work a little bit. It's just really, I don't know, man, that's still to this day. I'll always sit there and I'll sit up till 1 o'clock in the morning. My videos go up at 10 a.m. and I've been on my computer at 2 in the morning changing the thumbnail. Like, is this a good thumbnail? Thumbnail.
And I think one of the pieces is that, okay, you make this great thumbnail that gets people to click. Yeah. And then if the reason you made them click, like if whatever's on the thumbnail is making them click on your video, if the reason they clicked on your video isn't answered in the first 5 to 10 seconds of your video, then that's when you've made clickbait, right? It's like, hey, condos are crashing in Florida, whatever. I click on the video and Paul's like, so today we're going to check out this coffee shop. Like, what the heck, right? And so it's like, you got to deliver on the promise of the thumbnail. But you mentioned you are leveraging AI, and you're leveraging vidIQ and some other stuff. But I also can tell that you have an understanding of how thumbnails work, because I do see people lean on AI and lean on other tools, and they don't get the result they want, because most of the time you get a start, right? Like you'll get a start, you get 10 ideas, and you have to understand what makes a good thumbnail and title to know to click what the best one, Yeah. And so all that to say, like, what do you think agents miss on thumbnails and titles?
Well, I mean, like some of the basic stuff is don't put the name of your video, Tim's a great boxer, and then put on the thumbnail, Tim's a great boxer. Like, no, you could have.
Well, you also, again, you want to make sure it's the promise and you're giving something that's true.
Right. Like
that was a shot at me, Paul.
I mean, you could, like, a good thumbnail could be like 5-second knockout, right? Or just like KO'd KO'd in 5 seconds. Like, that's what?
You like where Paul went with that? He's implying that you got knocked out, a KO in 5 seconds.
KO'd in 5 seconds. And then
and you got a face of a guy like a glove hitting like that, that. And then the video.
And then it's like real estate influencer never stood a chance. Right. So the title, but that'd be a good one, right? Yeah. The text on the title should pop curiosity I mean, the text on the thumbnail should pop curiosity. And then the title almost like is the closer, right? Because the image usually gets people curious, like knocked out in 5 seconds, right? And then the title of the video should close me, where it's like real estate influencer didn't stand a chance. Like, ooh, I gotta click this.
And it's an ongoing. It's I look for inspiration from other YouTubers and just try to think. It's funny because one of the masters, Christina Smallhorn, out there, she's just like, she says, make that thumbnail before you can make the video. And it's so difficult.
Yes.
It's so difficult to do because when I'm out filming, things happen when I'm filming that can totally influence how I want to change the thumbnail. You know, it's like, oh God, I got to put that in the video, that clip or something someone said. But so I've tried it and I have done some, put it out there and said, okay, there's my thumbnail. Now let's go make the video based on the thumbnail. But
if we know that, you have to make a great thumbnail and title, right? Mm-hmm. And then the great thumbnail and title, you have to deliver on the promise in the video. Like those are the two important things to make a good YouTube video. Great thumbnail and title that gets people to click, and then deliver on the promise in the video. Well, it's easier to make the video that delivers on the promise if you're starting out with the thumbnail. And so I do like that strategy. But for the style of videos you do, I could see how that's an issue.
Yeah. Thumbnails it's funny if for anyone, the new people starting out, this is how I looked at thumbnails and what really made it click. Do you remember walking through the theater, you're taking your kid to see a movie and you look and they have all the movies coming up in the summer and you see that one, you go, I'm seeing that movie. I'm going to be first in line for that movie. That's a thumbnail. It grabs your attention and you go, I've got to see what they're talking about. That's to me is what it's a movie poster. It's all it's been. It's like, wow, I can't wait to see what this video is all about.
I love talking to different people that do YouTube because it's like, I've heard Christina say 1,000 times, you make the thing before, you make the thumbnail, you have the thumbnail and title before you do the video. And I'm like, I just can't do that. Like, I'll figure it out after I do the video, and like the movie poster, the movie title, that clicks for me. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
I also love when did you start? Actually, I can just pull it up myself. When did you start YouTube?
Well, I had an account since 2013. But it was, and I wish I'd started way back then with the videos, because I probably would be have a bigger channel, because no one was doing it. But 2013, because like everyone else, I went on to see Seinfeld clips and whatever was viral on YouTube back in those days. And then in 2018, I think is when I made my first video. Right around there.
First YouTube video, oh God, is the
it's so good.
Is the
title.
Is that the one that you're saying? Or
that was like
my first YouTube video, oh God, GAWD.
Like, oh God.
So
look at that. That was that 7 years ago. 204 views, baby. Look at that, man. I am gonna dominate YouTube.
Dude, look at the suit though, man. The jacket,
Oh yeah, that was just like just all sorts of and you know what? I could take stuff off. I know some YouTubers clear a lot of stuff off. I don't. I just
way.
It's there. Why not? Because I want to honestly, the one thing I'd say it's neat about all this, take all the real estate out of it and everything, is that one day when I'm not here, my kids can go back and they can watch their dad for 8 years doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah. And
so that to me is kind of so I'm leaving a little family piece of me for my kids and my grandkids to watch one day. So I think that's kind of cool.
Katie knows I'm like, you are speaking to my soul right now. I'm trying to prep for I'm giving a talk at our big event in November, and I am trying to find stuff of my dad. And so like I'm going through all these old pictures and all this old stuff, just trying to find anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the guy was always behind the camera.
Yeah.
And always taking pictures, but I don't have any video of him. I don't have anything of hearing his voice. And like, yeah, my great grandkids are going to know exactly who I am, exactly what I sound like, exactly what I think about things. And it's really cool. I think that's one of the most undervalued pieces of what we do with content.
Yeah. I love your family videos, by the way. They're brilliant, dude. It's just a beautiful thing.
To see more of them though, Paul, wouldn't you like to see more videos of Tim and his family?
Took a year to do one, didn't he? Or I don't know. Didn't it take a year? Something on the video.
I did. I got backlogged. All right, and then like I can't make the next one without making the other one. So I had to.
Here's last Christmas.
Sitting around, right? Yeah,
that's it.
But, Tim has some holes in his schedule. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. Paul. He's got plenty of time to do more work.
Katie knows the schedule well. She's
all
like,
right.
yeah, he's just lazy.
Listen, no.
Okay, go ahead,
pause,
Katie.
Tim multiple times has texted me and been like, can you please whatever? And then I go to say something and he just interrupts me.
Paul's my dude. I know I'm taking over most of this interview, so yeah, I should give you some space.
I wanted to give Paul a compliment on. I don't know if anyone realizes how quickly he just kind of came up with that title and thumbnail, right? And so I think that that's something that as you do more and more YouTube, and as you understand what your audience likes and what they'll click on, and hey, this is who my target audience is, and this is the type of video I should make. But like, he took a topic that's not a topic he makes videos on, Tim Macy. Like, who would ever make a video about Tim Macy? And then like knowing that Tim has boxed and coaches boxing and boxes now and works out, like he's like, this is what I would do if I were you, talking about being a real estate influencer and a boxer. And so like, I love that now that you have that formula in your brain, you're able to just be like, oh, this is what I would do, and this is what the numbers would be, and these are two different things that you could put that would be attention grabbers, for the eyes, right, on a thumbnail. So I it's an art, and you've gotten really good at it, Paul. So congrats to you on that.
It's funny when you see stuff and you're like, oh man, that would make such a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like, it's weird that you think like that. I'm like, my wife goes, what are you thinking about? I said, oh, that would be such a good thumbnail. She goes, can we eat dinner, please? Okay. But
yeah. No, I love it.
And I love once you have like a understanding and respect for it, seeing a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, that thumbnail and title is brilliant.
And good content. I'm always watching other people, realtors and stuff, and there's some amazing, like I said, my videos aren't super polished. I really admire some of the agents out there that are just getting at it. It's like just really good stuff. So it's cool.
Paul, we got a decent little audience that listens to the podcast, and everybody's in different places. Like, I got people that are downloading the podcast because they're trying to get started. I got people that are running with it and crushing it, and they're looking for their next tactic to elevate them a little bit. What would you say to the person that's in that similar spot that you were, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was? What would you say to them in this moment, in the current state of social and the world and everything else, for them to just get going?
Double down. I would say, if you in the market where we're at now in Florida, where it's a little slow, like it's been a slow summer for me. If I had the time, I would be putting 2 videos out a week. Right now, the buyers are sitting back. There's people waiting. We know there's a lot of people who won't sell because they have interest rates of 3% and they're not getting out of that home. We know there's a lot of people that are my age and older that are holding onto that house now and they own it. And we know there's a lot of young people that are like waiting for the prices to drop. Prices, it's got to change at some point. And if you're putting the content out there, which I said it's evergreen, they're going to see it. I'm doing it. That the sole purpose why I'm doing it and everything, and I keep going, and I'm 59 and doing it, is I honestly believe somewhere in the next 18 months, my phone is going to explode because I'm putting content about moving to Florida. And I've already looked at the numbers. By 2030, 25% of our population is going to be 65 and older. I'm 60 next month. That's my tribe. I want them to call me and go, hey, I'm ready to retire to Florida. Show us the 55 and older communities. Double down, make the content, put it out there. It's a proven formula. It works. And I would just say, make the podcast, make the videos, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, whatever it is, find your niche and just do it, because it definitely works. I mean, it's worked for me. I'm not the biggest, but I've been able to take care of my family, and YouTube is nice. And it doesn't hurt that YouTube sends me a little cash every month, which is kind of fun.
Pay for the beer budget.
Do you mind at 30,000 subscribers? Like, do you mind dropping what the ad revenue is?
This year, last year, I'm off YouTube. I made about roughly, I think it was $24,000 off ad revenue. So
a lot of beer.
A lot of beer. A couple trips,
that's
whatever.
Amazing.
But yeah,
this year you're saying it's a little slower, or
I think I looked at it. Just the other day. I think it's up to about maybe 10,000. So
I do look. I know that people aren't looking to add 10,000. Like, that's not the goal. But on the same hand, it's pretty cool to be pouring into a lead source that pays you instead of having to pay for the lead source.
My son's going to college, and it's like a little extra money there and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's slower right now. It comes in, but it's still coming in for me making dumb videos. So I'll take dumb money any day of the year.
So
you're doing it yourself, but like for a lot of people, like that pays for their editor or that pays for a new camera. Like, so it's like,
Yeah.
Don't
And
diminish
then
it.
I've had a few little perks where I got like a free e-bike, which just, a little, they sent me an e-bike to make a video. And so
That's awesome.
so I took the bike and made a video about driving around town and showing properties. And by the way, it's my new e-bikes. Whatever.
That's it. Like,
what's cool about it is the fact that it's opened the doors for me to get. So like I'm doing an interview today with the real estate magazine, and they're asking me because they found me through social media, and they're asking about second home buyers. And so it's opened the door for me to be interviewed for, like, I was entered by Yahoo Finance and stuff, which is kind of cool. And we all know the more we're out there, right? If people see it, then they go, he must be the local expert. And so that's the hope. So it has opened some of those doors, but for the most part, it's just fun.
I just have agents all the time asking me, hey, I'm looking at buying leads from here. I'm looking at buying leads from there. And like, where should I spend money on leads? And YouTube, if you do it right, will actually pay you and give you leads.
Yeah, it's funny because it hasn't happened yet. But I have a buyer from, funny enough, Texas. He has a waterfront. I'll have to reach out to Katie and go when he wants to sell it, because it's down there in Galveston on the water. Sounds like a really nice house too. But he found me from my video I did about West Palm, about luxury condos, and he's looking at like retiring here when he sells his business. But he's got like a $4 million budget, and I'm like, I don't normally work with $4 million clients. I wish I did. But he likes me from YouTube, and even called me during the holidays to wish us a happy holiday and sent a package to us. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is like, thank you. Like, so
amazing. Well, Paul, man, I just gotta say, I've loved being, a small part of your journey, and I've loved definitely being a spectator and watching it. So thank you so much for all the videos you made. Thank you for giving us your time here today to hopefully help some people out, man.
Yeah, thanks, you and Katie. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you having that group. I met a lot of great people in that group. I learned a lot. And like I said, there was Jesse Weiser, right?
Yeah.
Jesse, to this day, Jesse, I still audit the audio, the sound in my videos, thanks to you, where crescendo's down, right? Or whatever is that, right? Crescendo, whatever. Or it lowers down the volume and to thing. He said there's a way to do that instead of where it was so loud. He taught me something that I use every day in my editing because of that guy. That's like, so, and then there's so many other people in there, and everyone, great tips. So yeah, thank you guys. And thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun. I love what y'all are doing. I love what you guys are doing as a company too. I know I'm not part of your tribe, but I see what you're out there doing, and you're doing good work. And so as one professional to another, I certainly appreciate it. You guys are good people.
Thank you, man.